Hi, everybody. Okay, let's get into this interview that Al B. Sure had with Good Day Today. He is being honest, open, insinuating that Diddy was the reason that he went into a coma. Take a listen.
There's no hustle. There's no marketing. I'm living my truth, and it's time.
So you were in that coma in 2022. You had the liver transplant, you had the tracheotomy, I mean, all that stuff that went on.
Multi-system organ failure.
Yeah. Wow.
60.
Have they figured out what happened yet?
We will.
No, I mean, have the doctors medically, like, what happened to you?
Yeah,
because you just collapsed, right?
Yeah, so, just mysteriously out of the blue, which we do talk about in the book.
Yes.
What that,
I want to get into that.
What that process is. But, so it's been quite a journey. And as I said, even as it relates to writing the book, I went through almost, more than a decade of, being scrutinized and clowned by law enforcement, them telling me, you need some help. Sex trafficking? Really? What's wrong with you? No way. Not realizing that they were also working for the situation.
Because you were hinting, saying,
posting. Yeah. I get calls, take it down or else, so on and so forth.
But this is about Diddy, so let's be clear for everybody that doesn't know.
Diddy, who's about to, his trial's about to start. Yeah, yes. They're selecting a jury.
But you were on this train years ago.
Yes, many, many years ago. I posted some information that was, basically trying to save my life. And thank goodness to my ex, the wonderful Kim Porter, the late Kim Porter, who, kind of warned me all along the way to, just kind of watch your back, so on and so forth. And I didn't understand why.
Because of Diddy.
Basically.
Do you believe that she died of pneumonia?
Absolutely not.
Why? What evidence do you have?
She was in the best of health. We just saw each other prior to her passing. We were actually celebrating our son's new Netflix Christmas special, and she was doing just fine. In fact, we were all at the event together at Netflix in the lobby. Sean, myself, the children, all having a great time. And I'm, grabbing Sean like, what? And she's in the back going, stop, So it was a really festive opportunity just for all of us to be together, because it's nothing like the circus that's out here. So it was a lot of the stuff, came to surprise, but a lot of the stuff will be revealed and that's why I thought it would be a good idea to finally tell my story. Every network came to me, participate and so on and so, but I said, listen, I have no interest in speaking about another man.
But you are in the book.
Yeah, right. But this, I will speak about where our paths cross and what's most relevant, and something I've been trying to say for many, many years. And unfortunately, Roseanne, even with Sean being incarcerated, that's not a celebration. There's no celebration in it. First and foremost, there's way too much collateral damage, and in many, many ways. Many people's lives are affected. And in fact, a genre of music that I grew up in is ruined right now.
You're blaming Diddy for that?
I'm blaming this entire industry and the way it's gone. And, there's no one person that's in charge, but this level and this magnitude of a story of detriment, of diabolical, just heinous, whatever's really going on. It's unfortunate.
Is Diddy suing you or threatening to sue you?
No.
No?
I have the truth.
But one thing is, you have volunteered to testify at the trial, correct?
Not as of yet. Actually, I was subpoenaed.
Okay.
So my attorneys worked something out. So I believe when the time is right, I'm going to discuss it with my attorneys.
But you're willing to?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, I am. And again, there's no, like I said, this is not marketing for me. I'm living this life. And the only reason I wanted to tell the story, Kurt, was very specifically because I was ignored. There was the most expensive PR campaign against me to shut me down. If you actually knew what they did to me, there was a bounty on my head. There was a bunch of stuff.
So do you think specifically then that Sean Diddy Combs or people affiliated with him did something to you that caused you to have multi-organ failure?
I believe this to be the case, yes. Absolutely.
Wow.
My first time saying it.
Are you concerned that he still has power outside of incarceration?
Remember, I'm the only one who spoke up, and I'm the only one left alive.
Okay, so he pretty much what he's been saying for years.
We're going to be producing the Albie Shore life story. So hold on to your britches, and you'll really understand how I ended up in a coma. You're really going to need to call Homeland Security.
But not only that, he actually warned us about Diddy in 2012. Please pay attention. And so in this letter that Albie Shore wrote back in 2012, he was basically talking about how some very wealthy people specifically were jealous of him, and they couldn't help but to be jealous. And they were doing all sorts of things like sending people to pretend they were cable workers to gain access into his home. Also stalking him. Okay, also stalking people that were close to him, like trying to get in touch with exes and friends and things like that, offering them money, trying to bribe them, and then threatening those who wouldn't give them information and asking them to basically set him up. Okay, please pause to read all of this, but saying that they were, being asked to set him up to try to act like they needed help from him so that he would show up. And so this sounds very reminiscent of what Rodney Jones alleged about Diddy in his lawsuit. So please pay attention, because I absolutely think that Albie Shore was talking about Diddy in this letter that he wrote in 2012. Okay, but no one really paid it any attention. They probably thought he was just saying stuff or didn't understand why he would be saying these things. But nonetheless, he said that, if he turned up dead, just know that his attorney would have all of the information and that things would come out of the closet. Okay, please pay attention. He mentioned that several times. He said that they were trying to get in touch with co-workers. They had fakers and people that were plants, like when Kanye talked about people being implanted into certain people's lives to gain information and intel on them. Specifically like Diddy's chief of security, okay, Fahim Muhammad, in 2012. Albie Shore felt like he was being stalked, that people that were close to him were being stalked, they were being threatened, and they were being harassed, and they were being offered money to give information on him, and also to try and set him up to get him to a certain spot where something nefarious could be done to him. Okay, so please pay attention. This has Diddy written all over it as far as I'm concerned.
I think everybody knows about this case. I think that Diddy is worldwide, so it's no place that you can't go that you don't know who P. Diddy is. I also believe that the majority of the people think that Diddy had something to do with Kim passing. I mean, it's just plain and simple. I mean, the coroner, the one that said that she was poisoned, and then we get another one who said it was a pneumonia, and then the first one tried to go back and get the case reopened, and then the judge granted Ed Winter a chance to have the case reopened, and then he ends up unalive. It's just all Diddy. Now, do I know personally if he did it? Do I have any evidence? I do not. That's why he's been getting away with things for so long. But my gut tells me he did it, and I think everybody knows that he did it. I think that Albie Shore's been talking about this forever. We also know that Albie Shore has been talking to his son again, Quincy. There was a time when this Diddy stuff first came out that these two stopped talking. The rumors was Quincy, who is not Diddy's biological child, but raised him, and they said that he was adopted. There's no adoption papers. But anyway, we know that there was a time when Quincy stopped talking to his bio dad, Albie Shore, and decided to stick with his brothers and sisters. Well, I'm wondering, is this the reason we haven't seen Quincy at the last 3 hearings? We haven't seen him. Justin's been there, but no Quincy. So Monday's going to be interesting, very, very interesting. I think that I believe the rumors. I believe that Quincy realizes something's not right here. My dad, since ever since I can remember, might be the one that unalived my mother, the person who I was closest to on this planet. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird. But listen, he's written a book now, Albie Shore. According to the rumors, there's going to be some type of movie next from the book. We'll see what he has in store. I think it's great that he's doing it. You've got to watch how you do it, because you almost were not with us once before. Don't let him get a chance to do it again. At least the trial will be on Monday, and we get to hear people's true stories without them feeling as if something's going to happen to them. Quincy, I wouldn't want to be Quincy, because no matter how bad your parents are, and even though that's not his bio dad, Diddy was the only dad that he knew. And no matter what they do, there's always going to be some kind of love there, even if you don't want it there. So this is very, it's got Quincy in turmoil. What is he going to do? How's he going to handle it? I feel bad for him, but I'm glad, if the rumors are true, that he's finally starting to open his eyes and hold his dad, P. Diddy, accountable for the things that he did to your mother and your biological father. This is deep, guys. Got a lot going on. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Until next time, bye for now.